And then you reflect on your own life. Is this helpful? Is this going towards my goal or is it not? And I just was realizing that working in a 9 to 5 was not helping towards what I wanted for my life.
Today's show is so good.
But number one, I've never seen an intro like that.
It is my hope and desire that not only will episode 30 still be fun, but episode 300 will be even more fun. You were made for something great, so go and be awesome.
Ten seconds remaining.
Hello, and welcome to the show. My name is Renee Hastings, and I'm your host of Renee Speaks. Y'all, today's show is going to be so great because we have with us Alyssa Evans. She is a creative strategist and designer who believes that affiliate partnerships built with your besties create powerful, self-sustaining growth. As a working mom, she intentionally restructured her life and business after having children, designing a schedule and career aligned with the life she wanted to live. That journey from necessity to intentional design now fuels her work, helping women rebuild, restructure, and grow businesses that support all their goals, not just the business ones. Y'all, put your hands together for Alyssa Evans.
Hello, Renee. I am so happy to see you and talk with you.
Hey there. It is so great to see you, Alyssa. It's been a minute since you had me on your show. I'm super excited that you returned the favor and allowed me to have you as a guest on my show.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. Yes.
Absolutely. We had so much fun on your show. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to see her again.
I know. Your episode comes out next week. I'm so excited for it. Yeah.
Oh, I'm super stoked about it. So we'll definitely be promoting it and promoting you and your awesomeness.
Thank you.
So Alyssa, let's hop right in. Let's learn more about who is Alyssa Evans and how did she get to this place today where she's helping to create creative strategy and affiliate partnerships.
Yes. So, I mean, I've been in marketing for 15 years. I've worked for Fortune 500 companies. I've worked for startups. I've worked for pretty much any company type, any size you can think, any company size you can think of, I have worked for them. So I love marketing, and I've seen entrepreneurs who are grinding and burning out and trying to create something beautiful, and then also have that W-2 9 to 5. Everything is very corporate, everything needs to run through legal. And so over the years, for me, marketing is about the people and the people that consume these products, and they're building relationships with these brands. And so for me, I have always just wanted to be consumer first. I've always wanted to be very human first in attraction-led marketing, because if you connect with a brand or a person, and then you could create this beautiful support system with one another. So a year and a half ago, I was thrust into entrepreneurship, I would say. I started my LLC many years ago just to help companies with one-off projects with marketing automations or funnel systems, email campaigns, etc. And then I was laid off from my corporate job because of downsizing, and I was like, okay, I'm going to go full into this. I'm going to bet on myself. I am going to put all of my energy into doing things the way that I want to do it and creating a life that is a lot more intentional with my skill sets. And
Mhm.
so that's where Grow Your Strategy has been born. And now I feel very aligned with my mission now.
Wow, that is so fantastic. And so you actually went to school to go into marketing, and so you knew from an early age that this is what you wanted to do. You wanted to be in marketing.
Yeah, I went to university for psychology. So I was a science major. I was originally an art major that went into design, and then I went into nursing because I really liked science, and I was like, "This is not for me. I am not gonna be a nurse. I wanna help people a different way." I took organic chemistry and I was out of there. And so for me, I wanted to help people in a different way. And so for me, it was the psychology and helping
Mhm.
people understand themselves in their fullest. I wanted to
Mhm.
understand behavioral psychology, why your amygdala is holds certain memories, while your prefrontal cortex like prevents you from making certain actions. Like I wanted to put the
Mhm.
science and the emotion in everything. And then after college, I went into continued school for marketing and for advertising. And I was working for San Diego State at the time, and I was like, "Hey, can I like run the social media here? Like we don't have any sort of presence." And mind you, this was many years ago. This was like in 2011, and Twitter was very big, and we didn't have as many tools as we have now. And I started an initial campaign, and it had over 500,000 impressions,
Wow.
and it thousands of hashtags. It created this movement, and now like the university still uses the campaign that I created in
Mhm.
2011, and now it is this full campaign that they do every year for students that move in. I wanted to connect with the students that were moving into the university so they felt like they were bonding with one another before they even arrived at the school, because if people don't feel connected to their university, they usually drop out. And I wanted
Right.
to set these people up. I wanted to set these students up for success to graduate before they even stepped foot into school. So
Right.
everyone was on Instagram. So I was like, let's create Instagram hashtags, let's create Twitter hashtags. And the people were posting their Bed Bath and Beyond shopping sprees. They were posting their pictures that they were bringing into their tiny little dorm room. And then it created
Aw.
this movement that was able to connect people before they arrived. And so for me, it was such a beautiful sense of community from all these people
Mhm.
from different places. And that's really driven my purpose in all of my marketing campaigns that I have created since then.
Wow, that is so brilliant. And how intuitive of you to be able to look at a situation at a whole university and say, look, this is a gap here. I might be able to help you with this. And then to have it take off. Oh my word. I hope Bed Bath and Beyond became like a sponsor or something. So, because my goodness, that is truly impressive for someone so young to have such an impact on so many lives. That's fantastic, Alyssa.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, and
Yeah,
I think
truly.
it's just a little idea, if you have something and you wanna be creative with it, it's worth asking the question, and what's the harm? Like, it brings more people together, like, there's nothing wrong in that, so, yes,
Right.
it was a very, very exciting time.
Yeah, I think it's so important. That's a good message that kind of is underlying what you just said. Don't be afraid to ask the questions. Be brave. Go to those in authority and go to the higher ups. If you see something that is missing and you see a gap that needs filling, have the courage and the intestinal fortitude to pick up yourself, march right into whoever is that decision maker and say, hey, have you thought about this, and this? And then if you need a whole spiel or whatever, do your research and say, I've discovered this, I discovered that, and this is what this is doing for this person or this company or whatever it looks like. Be brave. Have that courage to go and share your ideas, because no one else is going to have that idea like you have that idea. And if you're the first to the market, I think there's a whole thing around that too. So
Yes,
yeah, you
absolutely.
definitely want
Yeah.
to be first.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people have ideas. A lot of people, I mean, they're in their work 40 hours a day, or they're,
Mhm,
I mean, it's just a natural thing to just think of how you can improve a situation. And if you
mhm,
have a huge passion that could support it, most of these higher ups, they will be very open to receiving that because it's supporting them, but then it's also giving you the opportunity to try something. And to your point when saying like doing the research, like, yes, understanding how how has been influenced in different industries is really important because then it's not copy and paste for everything. Every marketing campaign for one company is not gonna be the same result in another, but
mhm.
seeing the patterns and noticing the patterns, if you notice those patterns and then you can back it up and test it, that is so powerful. It's a hypothesis, you know? If your strategy is a hypothesis, you have this idea based off of the knowledge that you have and your lived experience and kind of the science behind it, and then just putting it into action and seeing the result, and that gives you the data to adjust and to recalibrate and improve. And if you just keep doing that, something's going to happen. You cannot fail if you just keep looking at that.
That's right. I love it. And I love how you said strategy is a hypothesis. Test it. Test it. See what
Yes.
works. Something's going to land. But you have to take that first step. And that's being courageous. Be courageous. I love that. And Alyssa, you were courageous because as a working mom, you decided to shape what your life was going to look like. And so, how did you build business and life together once you became a mom?
Yes, that is that is a continued journey, and I think that, I mean, I don't know how you can be a mom and not struggle with this. I mean, if you're a stay-at-home mom, you are on the clock 24/7. If you are working at a 9 to 5 outside in an office, then you are away from your children and, you need a caregiver. And if I am in a situation where I am a stay-at-home mom and a work from home mom, so I balance both. And for me, it's hard no matter way you do it. And I realized that corporate life is not sustainable for it's not conducive to raising a child. It's really hard to do it. Some people do it, some people do it really well, but for me, I just felt like I was being pulled in so many directions and I felt guilty for working and providing for my family, and that is I was like, there has to be a different way." So my
Mhm,
kids have they were never a hindrance in this. They've made me very relentless in
mhm,
what
mhm,
matters, and very intentional with everything. Everything we're talking about is either helpful, all the actions that they make is either helpful or hurtful towards their goal. And
mhm,
so for me, and I'm having those conversations for the children, like, don't yeah, I hit the dog, I accidentally like hit the dog or something, or don't steal that toy from somebody. And you're wondering, and then you reflect on your own life. Is this helpful? Is this going towards my goal, or is it not? And I just was realizing that working in a 9 to 5 was not helping towards what I wanted for my life. And so I had to basically rework my business to have a seat in my life rather than it taking away. And so I had to get very intentional with that. And so for me, that was building a business. And that is not the easy way to go about it, but it is I had if I wanted to be as present and as flexible with my children, then I need to do the hard work outside of that. So I needed to get up early in the morning. I needed to work for hours when they went to bed so that I could be this present for them. And so that is how I started I was working my full-time job, and then I started getting clients on the side to get experience in freelance in a safe way and
mhm,
contract work. I was
mhm,
trying to get clients, I was trying to figure out my own internal operations. I was seeing how I positioned them, and so for me, I was learning but still having my normal job. And then I unfortunately was let go. And so, but I'm so glad that I had those experiences because you can't plan for things a lot. And things are going to happen. Things are always going to pop up. There's always going to be roadblocks and challenges. But I was able to teach myself and give myself these skill sets. So when that ball dropped of losing a job, I was able to be like, okay, I'm ready. I'm on deck. Like, let's go forward for this. And since then, I've been able to really find that balance and work in a way that is very intentional and very present with my children. And I'm not where I want to be yet, but I am a heck of a lot further than I was 5 years ago. I'm a lot further than I was a year ago. I'm a lot further than I was even 3 months ago. So I know what I'm doing is working. And I just want everyone to feel like they can be empowered to do that too. It is not an overnight situation, but you can put in the work so that a few years down the line, or even 5 or 10 years, you can get there. And isn't that nice? Like, then you're not stuck in the same situation that you are in, I don't want you to feel resentful. I want you to feel like you're living your life to its full potential. And so if you can do something every single day to get there, then heck, I'm gonna help you do it. So if I can use my skill sets to help you get there, we're gonna do it together.
Right. I love that. I absolutely love that, Alyssa, because being a mom is tough. Working a full-time day job during, and being a mom, it's even tougher. And when you work from home and have a full-time day job and you're a full-time mom, that's, I think, the toughest situation to be in. But you have managed to, and like you said, it's a work in progress, but you have discovered some things that work, whether it's working a few hours before they get up in the morning or after they go to bed at night, still having some time for your husband. It is a balancing act, truly, truly, truly. So keep up the great work with that. That is really fantastic. And I love how you talk about how having a hype girl, you have to have these partnerships with hype girls in your corner to help create these partnerships and that create self-sustaining growth. So as much as we all want to do it on our own and think we can do it all ourselves, that's just a lie from the pit of hell.
Yes. Preach.
It just is. We need people. So tell us about how you go about doing that.
Yeah, entrepreneurship is a very lonely road, and working from home can be lonely.
Yeah.
And I just I'm having all these internet conversations, I'm having Zoom calls, but for me, you're not getting the water cooler talk that you would get in an office. And I love being able to work from home because I'm not going to say there's not any distractions. There are plenty of distractions, especially working from home with kids, but there's a lot more interactions with people that are like just coming up to you in an office. And so I I mean, I was just I worked with this group of women, and we still have a group chat. This group chat's probably 5 years old, and all of these women just wanted more with their life. And they're all very talented women. They're all very successful in their own ways. They all have very different skill sets. Some are mothers, some are not. And we all have this common goal of just wanting to get more and wanting something different. And I was like, how cool would it be to cross promote with one another? Because I cannot do the operations like my friend Yolanda does. I cannot do the content creation video reels that my friend Siege does. I cannot, like, they are just so genius in their own ways. And I was like, how cool would it be if I work with somebody and then there is this missing gap and then we just create this like little referral system with one another. And then, my friend who is a TikTok influencer, like I can buy all of her products. And then if I have a suggestion or if I have a question about this, like I will sign up on with their affiliate link. And it's creating this small ecosystem of people that you trust, and you are able to create these affiliations with people that are very, very skilled, and you're able to support them in all of these little ways. It's similar
Mhm.
to shopping local. Like, if instead of having these big corporations and just going to the most known, you're going to all these boutique little shops and you are
Mhm.
supporting them. And that makes a bigger impact, because I know if I spend $100 there, that could be somebody's groceries for the week for their family. And and I know how much that can make a difference. It's made a difference in my life. It's made a difference in my friend's life. And also, I don't want to rely on one thing. I am very risk averse, especially with kids. I don't want to rely on a W-2 job that's gone overnight and then there's no, you know, plan for me, and then I have to file for unemployment, and then you get next to nothing, and then you can't survive. Like, I want to get a lot of funds and a lot of income streams from a lot of different areas so that my family is provided for, and we can take the stress out of, if one ball drops, it's not going to completely divert our family. And
Right.
I want to be able to create that support system for people that are doing really good work as well. And so for me, it's exciting, like, for
Mhm.
it sounds it's you're creating your ecosystem, you're creating your village with the people
Mhm.
that support you. Ooh.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely. And I love how these diverse income streams not only kind of shore up your financial situation, but it also can maybe even help take some of the stress off your husband. And so that too is a big deal because, our husbands have a lot on their shoulders, and anything we can do to help alleviate some of that, you know, I don't want to call it burden or stress because they're built for that. but, but we still want my life to be easy for them.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so
You're
that's
you're a
really
team. Yeah, you're a team, and if
exactly.
one person's suffering, like, if one person in the family is sick, everyone has to adjust to make sure that they're feeling supported and comfortable. If and money is, similar. If somebody is suffering, like, the whole group suffers, and you
Right.
just wanna be able to alleviate that stress for
Yeah.
everybody. And my husband is very supportive, and he takes on a huge load with stuff so we can
Mhm.
rework things, and He's even he's like, "Okay, well, maybe I should do stuff like this." And now he's starting to get involved, and now he sees the value. He's like, "Okay, maybe I can do this in my way." So it's very cool to have that. And also, he's exploring things that he would have not explored, and passions that
Mhm.
he is interested in exploring,
Mhm.
because he can see the value. He's like, "Oh, I could try this and get money out of it?" I'm like, "Yes." I was like, "Even if it's $50, that's $50 you did not have, and you were exploring a hobby that you love. Isn't
That's
that cool?"
right.
I think that's so cool. And if
It's
you can
very cool.
maximize it and compound that, how amazing is that? So, yes,
Yeah.
like, yes, I think it's been very positive for our family, and I'm excited to see how it continues to grow.
Wow, that is so exciting, and I'm excited for you guys, and for anyone else in the audience who decides, drop a link, drop a comment in the chat if this is sounds like something that resonates with you and sounds like something you'd want to definitely try out, at least maybe dip your toe in to see, what it could be like because it sounds
Always worth it.
super fun.
Yes.
But
Dip the
um,
toe, dip the
just dip a toe, just a toe.
toe.
But along with that, though, as it makes me think about there's got to be a trust factor involved in this somewhere. So, what have you learned about trust and collaboration in partnerships?
Well, that's also a thing. I mean, I've been burned a lot, I mean, I think a lot of people have. There's a lot of transactions in business. I don't want to be looked at as a lead for somebody. I want to be a person. I don't want to be just a lead in a sales pipeline, or I don't want anyone to feel like that either. Um,
Mhm.
and there's a very cold approach to how sales is that I and that goes with outreach sales. And so that is just, I don't know why, I've just always not liked it. It's always felt like icky to me, and I think leading by attraction and leading by alignment is a lot more powerful. So if you could be authentically yourself and then have somebody if you are so authentically yourself, usually that lets somebody's guard down where they feel like they can. And over time, you get a good indicator of who is going to take advantage of that, who is going to push boundaries with that. I have had an instance where somebody has completely taken my marketing playbooks and frameworks. So I had to go through a legal process to copy and then copyright them.
Oh.
And so it's, you really learn along the way. So there is a huge trust component to it because people will take advantage of kindness and and so you soon get over time, you definitely get indicators, and it's not going to be right all the time. And maybe somebody's going through something that maybe they are taking, they take, and maybe it's not necessarily intentional, but it could not feel good. And so I think it's just more, if you take the pressure off of putting all this stress on one situation, it's a lot easier when something crumbles. And I think it's really cool to create. I don't know. I love creating these opportunities for people because you're gonna get burned sometimes. That's okay. Like it's not okay, but it happens. It's part of life, and you just have to pivot. You can't look at that like, what did I do wrong? You can't hold on to somebody's challenges. You just have to recognize it and know that, and just see where you can adjust and pivot, and just
Mhm.
also take note of it. Like, I'm not gonna put myself in this situation again, and that's good. Like, you've learned a lesson, and now you can just continue forward. You can't harp on it, because
Right.
it will tear you down. And so you need to focus on the positive and the people that will support you, and just a lot more human connection with people.
Right. I agree with you 100% because there are so many ups and downs and so many people who try to appear authentic, like they're really for you, and they're just fake. They're like
Yeah.
very self-serving. And, unfortunately, you learn the hard way. And I've learned the hard way. So many of us, founders of businesses, have learned that not everybody can be trusted, but like I love how you said, just learn the lesson. Why did this happen? How did this happen? What did I do? What did I not foresee? What did I not anticipate? What could I have done differently to avoid this? But if you've never been in the situation, you'd never ask those questions. And then you might have a bigger, higher dollar value mistake that you make later because you didn't go through this early, smaller mistake. Does that make sense? So you learn from the little mistakes while they're less expensive and have less cost or consequences before you get really big and then go through it and then have to, lose millions of dollars. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
yeah. So I love how you emphasize learn the lesson. Take whatever situation comes that may end up in a way that you didn't anticipate and ask the questions. What could I have done differently? How could I have avoided this? You know,
Mhm.
and not that we always go around looking for what bad could happen. We don't want to operate in that, but we definitely want to be wise about the people that we let into our lives and the people that we decide to do life with, and not just randomly or haphazardly just start accepting people into the inner circle, without doing some first vetting.
Yes. Vet first, please.
Vet first. Yes.
And I think, yeah,
So,
I mean, you are gonna be burdened. I think it's hard to move on because it's so emotional and it feels very personal, especially when
yeah.
it happens. And
Mhm.
so I think allowing yourself a certain amount of time to be angry, just you're like, I'm gonna be angry, and let me be angry for 5 or 10 minutes. Like, let me just
Yeah.
vent. And then I've made it mandatory for myself to reflect. Because if I do
Mhm.
not reflect and meditate on it, like, you have to ask, what is the lesson in this? So every time you're angry, what's the lesson? And how would I want to react in the future? And
Right.
when you really take time, it makes the transitions, it makes the lessons a lot quicker, and then you're able to receive a lot more opportunity because you're not getting you're cutting I mean, you're not cutting out the emotion at all. you're giving the emotion time, but also not letting it stop you. You're
Right.
giving it its you're honoring it and respecting it and taking the lesson to move forward.
Exactly. And one of the things that has helped, one of the advice I was given is as you are dealing with it and as you're giving it a, validating your own feelings and emotions and that sort of thing, one way to not be led by your emotions is by asking the question, what advice would I give to my daughter? So like
Mm,
what advice would I give to 10-year-old me if she were going through this similar situation? And how would I encourage her to behave or respond or react? And that
mhm.
makes you put on this wisdom hat
Yes.
that kind of takes you out of the emotion of it all and go
Mhm.
into the wisdom of it all. Does that make sense?
Yes, I think about that all the time, and I mean, with my kids, I'm just like, "Oh," and I constantly like, "Okay, I coulda used that for myself," with this situation earlier, but and that's okay, and that's I mean, that's part of that's li I think that's what's been very good for me with having children because they are a direct mirror of bigger problems, them not be able like, them not having them wanting more TV time and you cutting off screen time, it's like, "Okay, well, sometimes you do need to decompress and step away so you can calm your mind and you can have some quiet moments and we can be present and connect," It's a
Mhm.
constant reflection, and I think that's beautiful because it's a constant mirror for your evolution.
Absolutely. Children that do that.
Yes.
So I can't believe how quickly time is going by. I have so many questions. The first one, real super quick. How do you help women rebuild paths that support all of their goals, not just the business ones?
Yes. So I like to reverse engineer everything. So what does your ideal day look like? What does your ideal week look like? Are you spending the mornings working out and having a quiet morning where you can move and stretch? Are you going for a walk in the morning? Or do you just want to cuddle on the couch with your kids? Like, what does that look like? When are you most productive? Are you most productive in the later morning, early afternoon? So I want you to look at what your ideal week looks like. And then you build your business around that. And so it's a few nuances. You have to be very extremely aligned with your purpose and what you want to achieve. So I use my marketing skills and I'm actually developing an app to help people do this because feel like it's so complicated and I just feel like I'm just like projecting all these words at people and they're like, I kind of get it. But so you think about the life that you want to have and then you intentionally build your life around it. Is that coaching? Is that execution? Is that like, are you in the day to day with somebody helping them with admin? Like, what does that look like and what gives you purpose? And then you are adjusting your skill sets around that. And so you have to identify what gaps you have. You have to identify what you need to learn more of and then you have to identify like what you're also really good at. And then for me, I brand everything. I want to know your values. I want to know your pain points, the demographic, and then also visually, what does this look like? Because I have I just go to the design brain because design has a huge influence on psychology that builds trust, it builds connection, and that is scientifically proven. Like Steve Jobs created, like he built Apple off of simplicity and like cleanliness. He wanted simple sans serif fonts. He wanted, and white and black. Like he wanted just like clearness. And so it's been proven. And I just so I sit and look and reverse engineer what they want and what they want to do. And then we build, you audit, and then you put your values and your ICPs and your all of the things that you want in one place. And then you build on top of that. What does the content look like? What is SEO? How are people searching for you? And so I use all of my years of SEO experience, my years of branding experience to basically create a package for people. Like, this is what your content is going to look like. This is what your videos are going to look like. This is what your blog posts are going to look like. This is how you connect with your audience. And I have a framework. I call it the good framework, and it's grounded, organized, operational, and deliberate. So I want to make sure
Mm.
that you are rooted in authenticity. It is a repeatable system, it can be scaled, and that it is with purpose. So once we find out what is you, what works for you, and then we build it into that framework. And so we make sure that we are putting those structures into place so that they can have their templates, they can have their structure. So when they have an idea, they know exactly the formulas that they need to execute it, so that they're, multi-passionate brain, or, oh, I'm thinking about this and I want to educate people on this. And this is a really good article and I want to share this because I think that my audience can really learn from this. We are taking all of those pieces of information and putting them into a repeatable system so that they can easily convert. So it's taking the stress out of like, oh, I have this great idea. How the heck am I going to do? How the heck am I going to do this? We're taking that stress out of it. And so we're able to take all of these fun ideas and then put them into the system so that it is repeatable and scalable, so that they can continue, and so that it prevents burnout, and so that you can just live in a place that is more inspired, and you can also be confident that your content and what you're not outsourcing, but what you're projecting or presenting to the world is authentic to you.
Wow, that is so good, Alyssa. That deserves hand claps and all the praise because that is good. Once again, one more time, what the good stands for. Repeat that for that model, that system for people who watch the replay.
Yes, it's grounded, operational, optimized, and deliberate. Or sorry,
Grounded,
organized, not optimized, organized,
grounded, organized,
operational,
operational, and deliberate.
deliberate. Mhm.
So those are the things we need to be thinking about as we are considering how we're going to handle our marketing, how we're going to, do and figure out who our ICP is first. And ICP is ideal client profile.
Ideal customer profile. Yes, yeah, or
Okay.
client profile. It can go either way. Yes. So who do you
Okay.
want to connect with? Yes, yes,
Yeah. Who do you want to connect with? And once you figure that out, get good.
yeah. Get good. Yes.
I love that. Alyssa, where can our listeners learn more about you and your work?
Yes, growyourstrategy.co is my website. I also have a podcast called Growth Strategy, or you can find me on social media anywhere at Grow Your Strategy. So yes, that is my website. And I'm developing actually an app that I'm hoping can launch by the end of this month that will go in conjunction with a Slack community that has where you can put your ICP, where you can put your branding, where you can put all of your values, and then it will use my good framework to build your content strategy. So there's an AI agent in there that will take all of that. And then there's also a GEO visibility scanner. So it shows how you are crawlable on ChatGPTs or Claude or the AI summaries for Google. It will see where your standing is for that. So that all these people that are doing good work and are being very intentional with their life, they can be found and compared to those big giants or people that have more resources. So yeah.
Right. I love this. This is so good. I love your LinkedIn page. I love your website. And thank you so much for the resources that you provide for people to kind of get an understanding of what it is that they need to do if they're kind of lacking in some areas. Thank you for your podcast that helps people grow in knowledge and information. Alyssa, you were made for something great. So go and be awesome.
Thank you so much, Renee. You too.